Welcome to Tucker Rhetoric. I want to just quickly talk about the recent back and forth between Robert Prevost, also known as Pope Leo XIV, and the current U.S. President Donald Trump. I would like to first start by saying this. The Pope has zero credibility in connection to U.S. foreign policy. No U.S. president should care at all about the opinion of the Pope in connection to U.S. foreign policy or any other U.S. policy. And I don't think the majority of the people around the world need to care what he has to say either, unless you are a member of their religion and or their organization, which claims to be a Christian organization, but does not do nearly enough compared to what it's capable of with the amount of wealth and resources that it has to actually help and champion Christians. So if we look at what's been going on with Christians around the world, Christians are one of, if not the most persecuted religion in the world today, and the Pope says very little about that. He does not come to their defense as he should. All right? If you look at what's happening in Syria, Somalia, Pakistan, these are places where you would have to hide the fact that you're a Christian because it's dangerous for you to simply be a Christian. If you look at Iraq, where they had around 1.5 million Christians, that number is down to about 300,000. All right? If you look at Nigeria, the situation in Nigeria is crazy. And who actually did something about it? Donald Trump. What did the Pope say? Nothing, all right? Tens of thousands of Christians being slaughtered in Nigeria. Over 7,000 last year. Where's the Pope? All right? Now, when I talk about their capabilities, let's follow the money for a second, because the Vatican brings in hundreds of millions of dollars, euros, pounds, whatever you want to call it, every year. We don't even know how much money they make, all right? So what are they doing with this money? Whenever the Pope travels, it costs anywhere between 10 to 100 million euros, depending on where he goes and how long he stays there, all right? From that cost, the Vatican will cover about 1 to 5 million euros of that cost, and the rest of it is covered by the host country. So security is covered by the host country. Transportation is covered by the host country. The venues are covered by the host country. Crowd control is covered by the host country. So wouldn't it actually be better for you not to go some of these places and send this money to actually help and start programs or put things in place to help these people? You know, electricity, running water, things like this. So where did he go? Recently, he went to Africa. He visited 4 different countries. He went to Angola, Algeria, Cameroon, and Equatorial Guinea. Listen to the poverty numbers in these places. In Angola, you have 32% of the population living in poverty. All right. In Algeria, you have 10% in extreme poverty. 40% is living on $7 a day. To me, that sounds like 50%. Imagine how you would live on $7 a day. For Cameroon, 40%, and in Equatorial Guinea, 58% of the population is living in poverty. But you're going there, costing the country 20, 30, who knows how many millions of dollars or euros for you to take pictures and give speeches. These are publicity stunts, all right? That's all they are. And then on top of all of that, behind all of this, if I had an organization in which people within my organization were molesting little boys, and I was covering it up, moving them to other locations, paying settlements to the families, making them sign NDAs so they can't tell what happened, would you still support my organization? I hope the answer is no. But a lot of you are still supporting the Vatican and giving money to this. The majority of the money that goes to the Vatican is spent on the Vatican. It is not actually helping people in the way that it could and or should. And then on top of all of this, you want to chime in and talk about the war in Iran. You have said nothing about the tens of thousands of people who were slaughtered in the streets for protesting. Pope didn't have anything to say about it. He doesn't have anything to say about the fact that it is a normal thing for them to marry 8 to 14-year-old girls to grown men. No objections from the Pope. Rape is another thing that has been normalized there, when in most cases, when a woman is raped in Iran, it's the woman who gets in trouble, not the men. So most of them don't go report it. Pope doesn't have anything to say about that. So I will say this to the Pope: focus on the Vatican. Stop worrying about U.S. foreign policy.